Hiya and welcome to the James Oliver Guitar Channel, and this is part 14 of the vinyl albums that I love and inspire me. So all different bands and albums that I've acquired over the years and that I really like. All sorts of different music, and I think we'll crack on with a little bit the start of the Alex Harvey Band. This is the sensational Alex Harvey Band live. It's got Fair Feeler on it, Framed, Delilah, Alex Harvey, the ultimate showman, Zal Clemson, wonderful guitar player, dressed as a mime with his SG Special, Ted McKenna's drumming. Brilliant live album by a brilliant live act, definitely worth checking out. It's worth buying just for the version of Framed, which is one of the best I've ever heard them do on record anyway. So there we are, the Alex Harvey Band live. That's choice number 1 today. Choice number 2, a bit of progressive rock. This is King Crimson, In the Court of the Crimson King. Great cover. Great cover, Robert Fripp on guitar. My favourite track on this is 21st Century Schizoid Man. It's on the Island label. Moonchild is pretty cool too. In the Court of the Crimson King, which is the longest track on the album, I believe. Greg Lake is on bass guitar. Of course, later went on to play with Emerson, Lake and Palmer. So there's a bit of prog rock for you. King Crimson. More Rory Gallagher. This is Against the Grain. I was listening to this today and thought, oh, I think I'll pick this one out. I mean, I love the cover with his battered Strat on, of course. And there's tracks on there like Souped Up Ford, Let Me In, Bought and Sold, I Take What I Want. Rockers. You know, Rory was a rocker, and this is a cracking album. And the back, as you can see, is the controls on his Strat. Cool cover. Amazing guitarist. Underrated songwriter, Rory Gallagher. Bit of Taj Mahal. This is a Giant Steps album. Of course, Jessie Davis on guitar. And this has got my favourite 6 Days on the Road on it. Of course, it's a Dave Dudley song, but it's a Taj Mahal cover. He does Further On Down the Road on this. Take a Giant Step. I'm a big fan of Jessie Davis. I've shown his solo album before and the stuff he's done with Taj Mahal. And this is on the Direction label. Fantastic. Big Taj Mahal fan. Country Blues #1 is on this as well. That's the back of the cover. Quite old-timey sort of thing. Taj Mahal. Now this to me is the one of the most iconic British rock and roll albums ever. This is Billy Fury, A Sound of Fury. Of course, it's a 10-inch on Decca. And I believe that they're copying the 10 inches of the Carl Perkins Dance album and the Johnny Burnett True album, which were also 10 inches. And then the Pirates in the late 70s, early 80s went on to do Fistful of Debullions as a 10-inch. This has got Joe Brown on guitar, another underrated player. And there's songs on it like Phone Call, That's Love, Don't Say It's Over, Alright Goodbye, Don't Leave Me This Way. And of course, Billy Fury wrote all his own songs as well. So here's the back. It's on Decca. Really like these little 10-inch albums. I wanted to do Twang as a 10-inch, but it didn't quite work out. I'm just happy to have an album, as I've said before, on vinyl. But that's The Sound of Fury. I mean, in my opinion, the greatest British rock and roll song of all time is Brand New Cadillac by Vince Taylor and his Playboys. And I think this is the greatest rock and roll album produced in Britain ever, Sound of Fury. But I'm emphasising the word British. Not the greatest rock and roll album ever, but it's up there. Great record. Up next, some real cool blues. Tampa Red. This is the bottleneck guitar of Tampa Red, 1928 to 1937 on the Yazoo label. And there's stuff on this, like Come On Mama, Do That Dance, House Rent Shuffle, The Duck Ya Ya Ya's is Red Hot, Real nice national, well, it might not be a national, but real nice resonator playing. You've got his tricorn, all that sort of finger picking stuff. Definitely worth checking out. Tampa Red. That's more of a compilation album because, of course, all the old blues guys in the 30s and 20s, and they used to make 78s, so they'd be two-sided 78s, and then the labels like Yazoo, etc. would put them out as full compilations. This is a nice album. This is Mark Knopfler with Chet Atkins. This is the Neck and Neck record. Songs on there like Poor Boy Blues, a lovely version of Sweet Dreams, which of course Roy Buchanan did. It's a Don Gibson song. Yakety Yaks. The Next Time I'm in Town. Two fabulous pickers, Knopfler and Chet Atkins, of course. And I've had this record a long time, and it's a firm favourite. And that's Neck and Neck. There is another Knopfler album later on as well. I thought I'd do two today. This is an interesting one. This is Charlie Ryan. Hot Rod. Now, I didn't know who Charlie Ryan was. Not a clue. But I looked at the track list and Hot Rod Lincoln's on it. And also Hot Rod Race. So basically I bought it for that. Being such a big Bill Kirchen Commander Cody fan, and the stellar version of Hot Rod Lincoln, I bought this and it didn't disappoint. It's on King Records. Come out in the 50s. And it's basically all songs about cars. And I've always said all the best songs are written about cars, killing animals and women. So there we are. Hot Rod Lincoln is on this. Hot Rod Harley, Steel Rock, Chicken House Boogie. It's like sort of western swing, country rock and roll, boppy sort of stuff. But check out the Charlie Ryan on YouTube before I knew him. I hadn't knew him until I seen this record at the record fair. And it was definitely worth a punt. I bought it and I'm really pleased with it. So that's Charlie Ryan. Stevie Ray Vaughan. This is his first album. Texas Flood, which has got Texas Flood on it. Pride and Joy, Rude Mood, which of course is based on the Lightning Hopkins tune, the Lightning Sky Hop. What else is on here? Dirty Pool. I mean, SRV, you all know how good he is. Chris Layton on drums, Tommy Shannon on bass. One of the best blues rhythm sections, really, ever, I think. And that's the Texas Flood album. The first Stevie Ray Vaughan record. Something a bit more interesting for the blues guys. Something you'll see as often, I should say. This is Johnny Young's Fat Mandolin album. Recorded on the world famous Blue Horizon label. Of course, Mike Vernon had just been given an MBE. And this is blues mandolin playing. Stuff on here like Walking Slow, Deal of Cards, Lorraine, Prison Bound, Moaning and Groaning. Johnny Young playing his electric blues mandolin. Well, I tell you, when you're in the mood for blues, blues mandolin is wonderful, and this is a wonderful album. Bit of Richard and Linda Thompson. This, of course, is the Shoot Out the Lights album, the last album they made together before they split up, I think. And this has got tracks on it like Don't Revenge on Our Love, Walking on a Wire, Shoot Out the Lights, which is all a big showcase for Richard Thompson's dissonant, wild guitar playing. Backstreet Slide, great feel on the Backstreet Slide. Did She Jump or Was She Pushed? Man in Need, another one of them classic Richard Thompson style shuffles. I find the Richard Thompson sort of Man in Need is very similar to what Deke Leonard was doing on his Before Your Very Eyes album, that famous Deke Leonard shuffle as we call it here in Wales. So that's Richard Lynn Thompson, Shoot Out the Lights. I looked for this album for a long time and I love this album. This is Joanne Kelly's self-titled album on the CBS label. Of course, Joanne Kelly is Dave Kelly's sister. What a voice. Fabulous finger-picking guitar. Lots of stuff on here. Louisiana Blues, Fingerprint Blues, Drifting and Drifting, Moon Going Down. Robert Johnson's Come On Into My Kitchen. Jinx Blues by Charlie Patton. She really does it justice. She's sadly passed away now, but real cool stuff. Joanne Kelly. And that's her first album. I might have mentioned that, I can't remember. More Blue Horizon. More Blue Horizon. This is Duster Bennett's first album. Duster Bennett and his house band. Duster Bennett, of course, was a one-man band who recorded on the Blue Horizon label, same label here as Johnny Young. Produced by Mike Vernon. Peter Green's on guitar on this. John McVie's on bass. Mick Fleet was on drums. Worried Mind, Country Jam, My Lucky Day. Jump in the Shadows, of course, is the one that Peter Green and the boys play on. And he used to have the bass drum and the hi-hat. He'd be playing guitar and the harmonica. He sadly died too young in a car crash in Germany, I think. But it's called Smiling Like I'm Happy. He does a great version of Jimmy Reed, Shame, Shame, Shame. He was sort of in that Jimmy Reed sort of vein in a way, but excellent. And I really like the cover too. The Blue Horizon stuff always had cool covers. You know, that's another thing about the vinyl, is you get the artwork, don't you? Now this is a later Mark Knopfler album. This is ShangriLa, with tracks on it like 5:15 AM, Boom Like That, which is about the guy that founded McDonald's. So that's cool. Back to Tupelo, Shangri-La. There's a song on it called Song for Sonny Liston, which is all about Sonny Liston, the boxer. This is probably my favourite ever Mark Knopfler album. And that includes the Dire Straits stuff and everything. I do really like Shangri-La. It's from about 2004, I believe. It's definitely worth a look. A soundtrack, because I haven't showed many soundtracks really on the vinyl series. This is a soundtrack to Deliverance, which of course features dueling banjos. And there's some fantastic classic bluegrass and banjo tunes on this, like Shuckin' the Corn and Old Joe Clark, Farewell Blues, Bungle Call Rag. All real standards in the bluegrass world. And of course it's worth the money just for dueling banjos. What a track. I've never seen the film. Obviously, I've seen references to it and stuff on YouTube. I'm not a big film watcher, but still a wonderful soundtrack, nevertheless, for the banjo playing. Got a couple more left to show. Up next is the Welsh band, Snatch It Back. This is the Live on Broadway album. Broadway, of course, is where the Royal Oak pub is, which is on the cover. 200 Broadway. Snatch It Back played it every Sunday and every Tuesday for years. Dave Durnley's on this, Paul Higgins, Chris Reese, and Ian Davis. Iconic Welsh blues band, Snatch It Back. Bit of Jimmy Rogers, the singing brakeman. Lovely stuff this. Blue Yodel number 4's on here, Blue Yodel number 9. Pistol Packing Papa, Gambling Barroom Blues, which Alex Harvey also went on to do on one of his albums. And he died sadly quite young, Jimmy Rogers. I think he had TB, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's Jimmy Rogers, the singing brakeman. And this is the Never No More Blues album. This is the memorial album. I mean, that happened a lot when famous stars died. I mean, Eddie Cochran's got a memorial album. There's quite a lot of them around, you know. A classic, Beach Boys, Pet Sounds, Brian Wilson, absolute genius. Everybody knows this album, God Only Knows. Pet Sounds, Wouldn't It Be Nice? World-class production, world-class playing, world-class singing, world-class songs, one of the best albums ever. There's not much more to say other than that about Pet Sounds. Talking of Eddie Cochran, this is the Sing It To My Baby album, which features my favourite Eddie Cochran song, 20 Flight Rock. It's also got Sitting on a Balcony on it as well. And Mean When I'm Mad, Stockings and Shoes. Done quite a few Eddie Cochran guitar covers on the channel as well. But this is a real nice album. And I love the cover with the Gret 6120 on, etc. So there's Eddie Cochran. And last but not least, this is a Neil Young album. This is Greendale. This came out around 2003 time as well. And this is Neil Young's concept album. It's a story, and there's songs in it like Bandit, Grandpa's Interview, Leave the Driving, Be the Rain, all the tracks on the back, Carmichael. And you've got to listen to it all because it's a story and it's a really cool Neil Young album with Crazy Horse. He's bringing out a live version of this in November, which I'm looking forward to. And so I decided to pick Greendale. So there you have it. There's my choices for the vinyl albums that inspire me. And I love part 14. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all soon. Cheers.